Not to change the subject, but I was asked to pose a question. You may have already heard it, I don't know, but the question that I was asked was why are there no younger presidential candidates running for office?
Well, and that's it's not uh, as a confusing, not confusing. It's a difficult answer, in my opinion, to that question.
Well, we had younger candidates. I think Vivek Ramaswamy was the youngest.
Yeah, I mean,
I
and you
don't
gotta
think,
look.
I don't think,
DeSantis is younger. You got a
right.
lot that are younger, but and we've kind of touched on this the other day. The establishment wants the old guard in the house.
Hmm.
You can be younger till the cows come home and run for office, and the way our elections are set up, you don't get any money from the RNC if you do run, and they don't want you. They won't just not support you; they're going to support your Democrat opponent, so you don't win a primary or whatever. They don't care. Now, I believe there are very good younger people that could take take the banner and run with it. But we have a very corrupt system,
To say the
and
least.
they want the old guard, man. I mean, new blood does not interest a lot of them, and if they are young, they're going to be people that are probably World Economic Forum young leaders or something stupid, man. They're going to be the wrong ideology. I think that's partially what keeps a lot of Americans from voting for really young people too, is there is a stigma attached to the younger population, and that stigma is socialism. So I think a lot of people are very worried about hearing good things from a socialist in disguise, putting them in office, and then wake up in the morning to Venezuela.
Right. Well, my thinking, it, it may parallel what you just said, but my thinking is even if we did have a young candidate that could win the presidency, all I can think about is what was done to Donald Trump in the 4 years that he was in office.
Yeah,
And I mean, I imagine there are probably some pretty strong younger people, but I don't think that there would be any that would have the wherewithal to stand under what Donald Trump has been through for 4 years. Just his 4 years. I mean, he's been going through this longer than 4 years, obviously, but 4 years in office. I mean that would be too brutal for somebody without the right fortitude, experience, gumption, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I think that a younger candidate would be just railroaded right out of office.
yeah. I just don't even think they could even get into office.
I don't think they
Uh,
can either. But even if they could, I don't think they would last.
yeah. I, I think if there's going to be a younger person run for president, he's going to have to come out of politics. I think that's also another thing that is giving the American people a bad taste in their mouth. Tired of these career politicians.
Yeah, career politicians are dangerous. I think there need to be term limits. I think there needs. I mean, I wouldn't even be mad if Donald Trump ran another 3 times. But I don't know. I think a younger candidate would probably be more dangerous than anything right now. As bad as I hate to say it, I mean, I think we need another Kennedy in office, if you ask me. And for those of you who don't know, Kennedy was a Democrat.
Well, I just I think a younger person would be good, but it's finding the one that people trust, that has the experience,
Mhm.
uh, that can actually fight the machine and get on the ticket. It's just that's almost like finding a leprechaun riding a unicorn over a damn pot of gold, man. I mean, that's gonna be I mean, that's gonna be very difficult.
Well, I mean, look, you know, all things considered, Robert Kennedy Jr. is the young man in the race right now, and
Yeah,
I hate to say it, but I don't think he's really. I don't think he stands a chance.
no, he doesn't.
They don't want him. That's why he's running as an independent. The first Kennedy I'm aware of that ran as an independent.
Well, he's anti-establishment, and
Yep,
that alone
that's going to keep him
goes
out of
against
office.
them. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think the next play for the left is like Wisconsin is going to go forward with mail-in ballots, and
yeah,
you got a number of places that don't have any way to verify voters, so you're going to have a bunch of illegals.
yeah. There are going to be a bunch of
I
illegals voting
believe
this
that.
time, and there's going to be a lot of I don't even want to say it. I mean, there's already a lot of crooked action being put together. I mean, I think it was 5 or 6 months ago. The announcement was the CIA is already working on rigging the election,
Oh yeah,
and the CIA that's not supposed to operate within our borders,
yeah.
or is that Russian disinformation? Let's call Trump. Maybe we should call Putin. What do you think?
I I just think that we're getting a bunch of smoke and mirrors. I think we don't see. I think we can pontificate or speculate or opine until the cows come home about what we think is going to happen. We'll probably be wrong.
Well, we might be, but something tells me that we probably won't be.
Well, I think we've covered some very viable theories.
Yeah.
I see them as being as likely or possible.
Well, with everything else that has been going on, yeah. Now, if this discussion came up 20 years ago, I would have laughed at us both. Man, y'all are crazy. But with everything else that's happened over the last 8 to 10 years, really nothing would surprise me these days.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fair bet that Donald Trump is pretty much going to be the president. How long remains to be seen. But hopefully his Secret Service detail is top notch.
Well, I'm sure they are, and I'm sure they appreciate working on his detail. I mean, I imagine they are plenty fine with where they were working, and I'm sure they're committed to their package or Trump,
Yep.
the protectee.
I've heard some Secret Service talk about presidents, people who were on presidential details all the way back to like Kennedy and Johnson. And there were some presidents where they liked the president, not his wife, or they liked his wife, not him. And there were some
Yeah,
they didn't like either. But from all the accounts that I've heard from Secret Service people, Donald Trump's really been the only president that Secret Service has liked the president, his wife, his kids, everything. And
yeah.
that's saying something. That's really saying a lot. But did you hear what Donald Trump said after the debate at that what rally was at Michigan, I think it was, that he went to? I think it was after the debate.
No, you mean rally?
Yeah. Anyway, whatever debate, I mean, whatever rally it was, he was talking about, him and Franklin Graham, pretty good friends and all. And Franklin told him he really enjoyed his speeches at his rallies and he's got a good message. He just thinks he ought to cut out using the bad words. And Trump says, "So I've been trying really hard to quit using the bad words." He said, "But I really feel like the bad words kind of add emphasis to what I'm trying to say." He said, "But I'm trying really, really hard, because Franklin asked me not to use any dirty words. So I'm going to try real hard not to say bullshit." He has a way of doing things like that, but
Yeah.
he does get his point across. I think he does. I'm just curious as to how this whole 2024 thing is going to turn out. Because what I'm looking at from even from a theological perspective, I don't see much of anything really good coming after 2024, whoever the president is. Well, at least after this president, I think 2028 is not going to happen. I don't believe 2028 I don't believe there'll be an election. As a matter of fact, I believe we're going to be under one global community by then.
I'm not a black pillar in that sense. I'm gonna sit here and say that I hope that Trump gets in. Hopefully, we can unseat some of these rhinos in both houses,
Absolutely.
and
I'd like
I
to
hope
see
that
all
they
of
can
Washington,
start.
D.C. cleaned out.
Oh yeah, but I'd like to see good things happen out of this administration in the next 4 years if Trump is elected, and I would like to see people say, you know what, I think I can support this party. But conservatives have to get a backbone.
They really do. Every time I get one of those surveys from anybody in D.C., especially what's his name, the new Speaker of the House,
Mike Johnson.
yeah, Mike Johnson. What a name! But anyway, every time I get one of those surveys, the ones that I get are things that start with, "Is there anything that Republicans do, or is there anything that the Republicans can do different?" My answer: quit pandering to the Democrats.
Yeah.
And their last question is always, what can the Republicans do to improve? And my answer: grow a spine, get your head out of your ass, and do your job. It's that simple. I mean, look, when Trump was the president, the Democrats had the House, right?
Yep.
They wasted no time running those impeachment papers through. I mean, Johnny on the spot. They were getting it done. Why are we still doing impeachment inquiries on Biden? He's almost out of office. If he doesn't die first. I mean, they impeached Donald Trump twice in 3 years, and we can't get through an inquiry in 4. That makes no sense.
Well, once he was impeached after he was out of office.
That was still 3 years, wasn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
But the Democrats wasted no time getting those impeachment papers across the floor for a vote. And yet we can't get past the inquiry. I mean, how much evidence do we really need? I don't think that the Democrats had any evidence for what they impeached Donald Trump for, unless
Yeah,
you
they
want to
did.
call
They
the
had
Steele
feelings.
dossier.
They had
But
feelings.
oh, come on, man! Check your feelings at the door. They're no good here. But yeah. What about Nancy Pelosi? I mean, have you ever torn up a federal document I mean, the last
I
time I
haven't. I'd
checked, it
go to
would get
jail.
your ass in a sling. But she tore up the presidential speech before before it was all dismissed. I mean, on national TV, and nothing happens. And finally, she admits to blocking the National Guard Donald Trump called for on January the 6th. Oops.
Yeah.
I bet she loves her daughter, doesn't she?
Yeah.
That is kind of funny. I call that poetic justice. Is she still in the house?
Yep.
How?
I don't know. I think she found that leprechaun riding a unicorn over a pot of
Leprechaun.
gold.
Golly.
Well, I mean, the only
No,
other
that was a guy with a
explanation
hammer in his
is,
hand wearing nothing but underwear. That's what that
yeah.
was.
Well, I'll say the only other explanation I can think about is her constituents are just that dumb.
I don't know. I don't know. I just do not know. So, what do you think about Robert F. Kennedy's real debate? Did you get a chance to watch that?
Well, I mean, I watched a lot of it. I was trying to fast forward to get to him so I didn't have to watch the entire debate again.
Yeah.
I mean, I just personally, I wasn't all that impressed. And then, like I said, I didn't watch it, so I don't have much to add to it. Nothing really about it stood out to me. I think that the debate itself was a joke in the sense of all three candidates should have been at the debate. I mean,
Oh,
I
without a
think people,
doubt.
I think people should have been able to hear from all three candidates. I think they should have been on the same stage. And
Answering the same questions with the same moderators.
yeah, it was just, I thought it was a joke. I mean, it was good that he got out and gave his thoughts on things, but he's
I
still
think it
just a
was
little bit.
highly ineffective simply because there was no rebuttal to anything he said. There was no.
Well, it was
It,
just, yeah, it was very one sided with him. And I,
now, in his defense, if he was going to debate, that was the way he was going to have to do it because the Democrats said as soon as he entered the race, they weren't going to allow him to debate.
yeah,
So, I mean, as a candidate, I think he did what he had to do. But I'm like you. I mean, I wasn't. It's kind of hard to find it impressive when you got one candidate that's shoved out, and now he's left to try to grasp at straws to stay in. You know what I mean?
yeah, but they love democracy. They, they keep saying that we got to defend our democracy, but they're doing everything they can to prevent candidates from being heard.
That's right. And
So what they're
just like,
saying is they love democracy so much that they really don't. They want to deny the people the right to make a decision.
well, it's just like we're such a racist nation, we have to stage a hate crime, right?
Okay.
Um,
And we're such a racist nation. All of these people from all over the world are fleeing to America.
yeah,
I haven't seen a mass exodus yet from America. Not even from black people.
I
I
haven't
mean,
really.
I
Well,
mean, you'd think that with all the lynchings going on and all the white people running around gunning down all these
yeah,
black people,
I'm telling you,
you'd think that they would be screaming for asylum and hell anywhere.
anywhere. Well, Donald Trump said the other day that what was it he's talking about? He said something about I guess the next rally we hold, we're gonna have to hold in the safest place on the planet, and that's gonna be in Venezuela.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been screaming for 3.5 years. There's not enough people making racket. There's no noise. It's too quiet. For all the stuff that's going on right now, it is way too quiet. And I forget who said it now, but all it takes for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing. And that's what I see a lot of, is good men doing nothing. I mean, if they call themselves good men, I don't hear enough noise. I don't hear the racket. I don't see the pushback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm really kind of tired of hearing, well, the nation's waking up. Well, poke them in the eye, get them interested in something, because this is not working. It's like the whole country's turned into rhinos. Oh, the Democrats said we have to do this. Whatever.
Yeah. Now they got me a yawn fit going on.
Yeah, and talking about this nation will do it to you. Kind of makes me wonder what in the world we were fighting for. Aaron Lewis said it right. We were fighting for something more.
I'm not being unprofessional, but it's the only time I get to eat.
Well, you don't have to worry about being unprofessional. Everybody's been watching Joe Biden drool on himself for the last 4 years. So.
Yeah.
Now, since you've already claimed to be a Trump supporter, what you're doing is absolutely unacceptable.
I know it. Nobody don't accept
Trump
it. Kiss
supporters.
my ass. I don't care who you support. You got a problem with me getting some food in my belly. Kiss my butt.
Right. Yep. Well, I figure I'm going to call it a day. And I think it's about 5 o'clock somewhere. Maybe 5:30, I don't know. But if I go by the Democrat schedule, it doesn't really matter. Are you good with that?
Yep.
Outstanding. In our own field. All right. Recording stopped. Oh, hell. That was only 3 hours and 2 minutes with a lot of break in between. Cause just because I stopped recording doesn't mean the timer quit. So I don't know how much we really got. Find out on the production side. Man. How did that get way up here? I guess next step gonna be producing. Because of all this done. I'm gonna try to get it all done before the weekend. So I have an idea about how far ahead we are.
Yeah.
And hopefully there won't be too much exciting, timely stuff we need to hit between now and whenever. I should have close to 12 ahead of this one, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna have to find out though, because I don't know exactly what I got. Get this little area cleaned up. Go finish packing up a few boxes so I can get the mess out of the middle of my room. And I'm gonna have to go find me a tall, cool one. I done got thirsty. But anyway, think I'm gonna skedaddle and get a couple of those boxes finished packing up, and then I'm gonna run to the store and come back and start producing and do the real fun work.
I'm better you than me.
That's what everybody says. The only problem is I done had to run everybody off because everybody that says that thinks they can just come around and just shoot the shit with me. I'm like, hey, buddy, I'm working. Yeah, but let me tell you, man, get the hell out. I'm trying to do something. It seems like the more I say it, the more I sound like Dad. It's pretty bad, ain't it? You ain't talked to Dad lately, have you?
Since last week, I think.
I guess he's mulling over it or he's trying to forget it. Which is it?
Ain't no telling.
Yeah, I get the distinct feeling he is not thinking about it at all. Not objectively, anyway. Whew. All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. How far you got to go?
518 miles.
Oh yeah, you got a long way to go yet.
Yeah, I'm only just now coming up to Monroe. Well, I'm 30 miles. I'm going to Ruston right now. I got 30 miles to Monroe, and then obviously finish Louisiana, cross Mississippi, cross Alabama, and then I'll be there.
Yep. Well, be careful. And I'll probably give you a holler later when I take a break.
All right, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right.
Later.
Later.